So, Gargolem defense got access to a brand new ability, being Bitter Touch, which isn't very great. At its best, it can offer you a very small niche in one very specific situation, but even then, it isn't consistent. But hey, I think most people would agree with me when I say Gargolem defense doesn't really need a buff, right? Okay then, jumping into it, let's check out the melee defensive set first. We're running 192 health TPs and 200 melee defense TPs with a robust personality to max out our melee bulk. Also, the reason why we aren't maxing out our health TPs is to keep our health stat odd since we are weak to ice cold traps. The 16 speed TPs will let us outspeed uninvested Pyrolons, and then everything that is trying to speed creep other Gargolem defenses. We don't need any energy since it's already naturally so high, so 4 TPs will do there, and then the 88 range defense TPs are going to be leftovers, which we'll use to increase our ranged bulk. Next up is the held item, which we're going to want something defensive, which is either going to be a health amulet, a milkshake, heavy armor, or even a pearl. Then for the ability, I'm going to be using Gargolem Defense's newest ability, Bitter Touch, which if the opponent hits us with a move that makes contact, there's a chance that they won't be able to use that move again for a few turns. Although, this ability isn't super reliable of course, so you'll most likely want to just stick with the old ability being immunized, which will make us immune to every status ailment. And finally, for the moves, we're running Barbs and Ice Cold Traps to set up entry hazards. Mudslide is going to let us remove entry hazards from our side of the field, and Driving Force is going to let us switch the opponent out of the battle. Although, there are some other options like Teardown to remove entry hazards if you're worried about air-type Loomians, Provoke to prevent the opponent from using support moves, Slapdown will let us remove held items, Bane of Haste if you're running a more slower team, but we could also consider some more offensive moves like Earthquake, Landslide, and Jetstream to threaten certain Loomians like Pyrolon and Krakaloa. Okay then, hopping into the first battle, because we're starting off with the melee defensive Gargolem, I'm obviously looking for some melee attackers. Although I will say, this team is a little sketchy, can hit me quad effective, can hit me super effective, could have ice coverage, could have plant coverage, so oof, could also lose my held item. So it's mostly just the Venusaur here, but hey, that's actually really good for us. Okay, I kind of panicked, I was running out of time, so I'm leading off with Sumobito. And hey, would you look at that, it's actually a really good lead for me. It was totally planned, okay? So I would obviously love to try and get Gargolem as our lead and just start setting up some entry hazards. Probably a little bit too soon, especially because I have so many things that can actually hit it, super effective, so I'll wait. I can switch it in on a Venusaur, maybe get Bitter Touch to activate, although we have to be a little bit careful because obviously Primal Slash can do a lot of damage to us, and Venom Slash we do resist it and Mega Punch, but Venom Slash can poison us because we're not immunized, unfortunately. So yeah, but if we switch on the Venusaur, I can get some free entry hazards down, so sounds pretty good. For the Samarine, I'm just gonna go for Hondashi. I don't think Samarine is gonna stay in. It does. Okay, well, this actually works out for the best for us. I get a cancel, that sharpen, and hit it for an absolute butt ton of damage. Okay, yeah, that is really good. They have an Enoyed. That is really not good. Yeah, I'm gonna switch out here immediately into Wiki Wiki. I've actually brought Wiki Wiki along because we can actually Herbal Remedy into Gargolem defense, because Gargolem doesn't really have a great way to heal itself outside of either a health amulet or a milkshake, so it might help us if we actually need it. And seeing as this team can actually hit us super effective pretty hard a lot, I might actually need it. Here, I'm going to go for... Also, Sap Plant could also help us for healing. Poison would be good, but I don't really want to invite the Venusaur out for free. But I don't know if they actually have it, so we're gonna click Poison first off. They do go Venusaur. So here, Sap Plant would have been better. It's fine though. I can immediately here switch out into my Gargolem defense, and like I said earlier, I can now start getting some entry hazards down. The Samarine is actually really weak, so maybe a couple of Barbs would actually work wonders for us. There's the Venom Slash, which is actually contact-based. All of Venusaur's moves, I'm pretty sure, make contact, so there's a chance I can turn them off. And if it's like a Gloves or Boost Venusaur, that's even better. I'm pretty sure it has to flail in, right? Anyway, here I'm gonna go for Ice Cold Traps. That Nimue is a little bit scary. Timber comes out, also a really scary Loomian. Could actually have Mudslide. And Gargolem is my only air type, so let's hope for the best, I guess. Also, Himber is really good into all my tanky Loomians. Ice, Earth, not good. My only switch-in is Sumo Beetle, so let's hope for the best. And there's an Ice Hammer. Okay, that's fine. It will do some damage, but I can take a Nuller 1, maybe even a Nuller 2. I think we just go for Handashe, just do some damage to the Himber, try and get some entry hazard chip damage as well. Okay, Ice Hammer again, that's fine. I have to be a little bit careful though. It might have actually been better trying to damage the Himber with like counter stance instead. Just so I can try and get rid of Himber so I don't have to worry about trying to switch in later. But wasting that Rageful plushie is really freaking good, not gonna lie, that is actually great. Samarine is out. I kinda just want to spam counter stance, to be honest. Like, I've got a lot of energy, I can click it like, what, 5, maybe 6 times? So, yeah. I'm kinda weak, so I guess we'll see. Okay, they didn't bother going for a Sharpen this time, which makes sense, but we might as well get rid of it now, to be honest. That's one less switching I gotta worry about. Himber's back in. You know I'm gonna counter stance again, right? Okay. Interesting. Well, hey, Himber's down. Critical hit. Don't think that was necessary, but I'll take it. That's actually really good for Milan, so 2 of their melee attacks that could hit my Gargolem for super effective damage is gone now. Okay. There's Venusaur. It's a little obvious I'm clearly gonna go back into my Gargolem, right? But that's fine. This is most likely their only melee attack right now, so hey, Gargolem is gonna switch into it every single time. And yeah, that's still completely bounced off of my Gargolem. You have to be a little bit scared they could also critical hit us, but even a critical hit, I think I should be fine. I've got Ice Cold Traps down, so now let's just start going for some barbs. They go for Primal again, come on. Give me the Bitter Touch. There we go, baby! Okay, what actually happens, though, if their specialty items and Bitter Touch activated? I'm pretty sure they have to flail now, right? Here, though, I think I just go for Barbs. Might as well just get even more hazards down, right? Okay. Augment. Oh, it's not a specialty item one, unfortunately. I was really hoping it was. That's fine, though. I mean, that means they have no other move to actually hit me. They have most likely Mega Punch and Venom Slash, which we've already seen. So, yeah, they really can't touch me right now, which is great. I could go for another layer of Barbs, I think, but I could also Driving Force them. I think I'm gonna Driving Force. Okay, that's actually great. They'll go for the Withdraw. Nimue. Okay. That's Ice Cold Trap. Chip damage immediately. And because we're Driving Force them out, if they switch back in, they're gonna take another bit of damage from it. And it's into Pharaoh. I have no idea what type of Pharaoh this is. I'm kinda hoping it's melee, but we don't know until it clicks a move. Melee defense rolls, that's completely fine. If it was like speed, I would have probably tried Driving Forcing it out, but here I think I'm gonna go Infernix. We haven't revealed Infernix yet, and Infernix is most likely only gonna be good into the Pharaoh now on their team, and it is a range attacker. Okay, that's completely fine. We can probably just go for a Dissipate, right? I honestly wouldn't mind going for Raging Flame for a bit more chip damage, and if that Venusaur switches in, it's GG. I'm gonna do it. They stay in. That's honestly completely fine. Don't flinch, Milo. It still does no damage. Okay, we burnt the Pharaoh. I'm gonna click Raging Flame again, anticipating them to switch. So hopefully they do. I would assume Venusaur. Yeah, this being burnt is actually huge for us. Oh, that is that is the wrong attack stat that got raised, unfortunately, for them. But yeah, now that Venusaur is burnt, our Gargolem is looking juicy here. Although, I'm gonna make a quick hit stop, okay? I'm actually gonna go into Wiki first, because I'm anticipating a Primal Slash to come out. From a burnt Venusaur, I should be fine. Then I can go for Herbal Remedy, then I can go into my Gargolem and get all my health back. There's Primal. Okay, that's completely fine. Still does quite a bit of damage though, not gonna lie. But yeah, I should probably keep Wiki somewhat healthy in case I need it for the Nimue, but I think we'll be fine for the most part. There's Venom, completely fine. Okay, that actually does a lot of freaking damage, not gonna lie. And I got poisoned. Yikes! Okay, that is gonna be really, really scary, not gonna lie. My Wiki might not help me out for the Nimue anymore. We have to be very careful now. Oh no. I'm gonna go Gargolem anyway here. Probably should dodge, to be honest, to get more health back on Wiki. But it looks like they were actually predicting that, and they went for a rest. So hey, my Gargolem got all of its health back. Now here, I think driving forcing is probably the best thing I can do. I don't necessarily need more Babs, I need more chip damage on that Nimue. There's Primal. Bitter Touch again, dang. Unfortunately, low driving forced it out, so not really going to help us there. That would have been great low if I needed to set up more entry hazards. With Ferroglyph being in, the last time they were in, they clicked Psycho Blast. And we're still pretty range tanky, even though we're fully investing into our melee defense, so honestly, I can stay and click Driving Force. Again, I'm mostly trying to look for that Nimue just for more chip damage. And because I went first, I'm assuming they went for like Bane of Haste? I actually have no idea what they were doing there. I honestly could not tell you. Okay, Nimue is getting very weakened. I can live a hit from Nimue, so I'm gonna just Driving Force again. Gamma Pulse, it should do a lot of damage. It honestly didn't really do that much. Okay, so even though my Wiki is very dangerously low in health, looks like Gargolem just wins here, I think, right? A lot of chip damage from the entry hazards. The burn is gonna tick. And oh, we're just gonna go for Driving Pulse again. I'm pretty sure the next time Venusaur switches in, it just faints. Augment, honestly a great move to go for. If they can get like a range attack increase on that Nimue or Pharaoh, that could be scary. Not gonna lie. Yeah, this Gargolem is so annoying. It's so annoying. We're so bulky, if they just can't hit us super effective, especially because now we've gotten rid of their Samarine and their Himber, I just gotta sit on the field, Driving Force them out constantly. I'm getting so much chip damage, and they can't do anything about it. It is definitely so annoying. Like, yeah, obviously Gargolem doesn't do a lot of damage itself, but hey, because they didn't get rid of all of the entry hazards, and they let me get them down, I'm taking my damage, man. Unfortunately, I can't actually hit Nimue, so I have to Driving Force it. It probably will live a Driving Force, but I don't think it will live 2. Yeah, I gotta Driving Force it again. I'm actually surprised Gargolem did that well in this battle, to be honest. I thought they had a little bit, like, too many super effective hits and range attackers, but yeah, with the right team to support it and to get rid of those counters quickly, Gargolem just sits on the field infinitely. And next up, let's check out the range defensive sets, which we're running 192 health TPs and 200 range defense TPs, along with a clever personality to max out our range bulk. Also, we aren't maxing out our health TPs to keep our health stat odd since we're weak to icicle traps. The 16 speed TPs are going to let us outspeed uninvested Pyrolons, and then everything else is trying to speed creep other Gargolem defenses. We already have more than enough energy, so we don't really need to invest into our energy stats, so 4 TPs will do here, and then the 88 melee defense TPs are going to be leftovers, which we'll use to increase our melee bulk. Next up is the held item, which we're going to want something defensive, so something like a health amulet, milkshake, heavy shield, or even a pearl would be a good choice. Then for the ability, we're just going to be using Immunize, which will make us immune to status ailments. And finally, for the moves, we're running Barbs and Icicle Traps to set up entry hazards, Mudslide is going to let us remove entry hazards from our side of the field, and Driving Force is going to let us force the opponent out of the battle. Although there are some other options like Teardown to remove entry hazards if you're worried about air-type Loomians, Provoke to prevent the opponent from using any support moves, Slapdown to let us remove the opponent's held items, Bane of Haste if you're running a more slower team, but we could also consider some more offensive moves like Earthquake, Landslide, and Jetstream to threaten certain Loomians like Pyrolin and Krakaloa. Okay, so not gonna lie, the first battle went so much better than I expected. Bitter Touch is just very inconsistent, but I got it to activate quite a few times, so I'll definitely take it. Anyway, now we're using the ranged tanky version of Gargolem defense, and we're using Immunized. There's no reason to run Bitter Touch on a ranged tanky version, right? Because we're not really trying to take melee hits. Also, Immunized is just better. Okay, let's go for the Sumo Beetle lead. I was kind of either anticipating the Protagon to lead, which it did, or the Wassets. I was going to say Weaselin, but that is not the right... Borealis! I was expecting the Borealis to lead, anticipating my Gargolem lead, but nope, that's completely fine. I don't think they had a Spirit type, right? So Hondashi looks pretty freaking good here, man. Yeah, they go for the withdrawal, anticipating counter stance, if I had to guess. Luminami here is also fine, because if they do get hit with Hondashi, they get the majority of their health back. There is the Kuda. No Venom Slash anymore, so I could actually stay in here, right? Most likely. This is probably my best Loomian for Dakuda, so yeah, let's stay in and go for... probably just Hondashi again? I kind of want to counter stance. Yeah, I'll counter stance. Oh, it's a Soul Burst Dakuda. I think that means I tank against it even better because I'm like fairly range tanky. Okay, let's see what it goes for. I think it's going for Energize. Oh, no. I should have gone for Hondashi, man. I should have gone for Hondashi. I was like expecting gloves or something, to be honest. Let's get that thing out of here. Electro Blast, I think I might live. I'm somewhat bulky, right? Come on, Smobito, I know you can live this. I could have just gone into Gargolem, that was super obvious they were going to go for Electro Blasts. Okay, we lived it, we forced them out of the battle, they don't have the Energize anymore, good to know. And hey, we did a little bit of damage to them as well. To be honest, I was expecting the Metronet to be their Soul Bursts. Also, Sumobito is very weak now. I'm gonna go for Parasitize, they're most likely expecting Counter Hoist, right? So they're gonna Peace of Mind or switch out. Damn it. I live. Damn it. Damn it. I probably could have gone Gargolem there, to be honest. I am going to go Gargolem now. Metronet doesn't have a great move to hit me. I can start getting entry hazards down. Thinking about their team, Icicle Traps don't seem that great, I don't think. I've seen Metronet, which ignores entry hazards. We've seen Protagon, which resists ice. Luminami, which resists ice, and Dakuda, which also resists ice. So yeah, Icicle Traps aren't that great. We'll just go for normal barbs. Borealis, also, this is immune to Icicle Traps. Okay, not looking too good. Oh, I forgot. Sumobito was my Borealis switch, and I let it go down. Oh no. Oh no. I guess I have to go... I don't even have a brawler move on Chienta. I am screwed. I am so screwed. I think I have to go with Chienta either way. We know their entire team now. And I don't think they can get rid of entry hazards, so if I can get more entry hazards down and I can force them to switch a lot, we might be good. That critical hit was so unnecessary, man. That is so not cool. I'm just clicking Radiant Rush here. They go for withdraw, I'm assuming Luminami, right? Yeah. This is gonna be tough to get through. But if I can get my Venusaur onto the field, I miss anyway, so it doesn't even matter. If I can get my Venusaur onto the field, Venom Slash looks great. Nothing resists Venom Slash, and we can hit everything like fairly well. I just don't have a slow pivoter to get Venusaur into the battle super free. Here low, we're just gonna go Wiki Wiki. I'm gonna try and Sap Plant something maybe. I might have to use Wiki Wiki for the Luminami and the Dakuda. Maybe the Protagon. Because Gargolem is gonna struggle with lows a little bit, to be honest. But yeah, here I'm gonna go... I think Poison might be better. It depends on what they go into, to be honest. If they go Metronet, Herbal Remedy, if they go anything else, Sap Plant or Poison, I'm gonna click Poison. It's Metronet. Protagon! Okay, that should get melee attack increase, I think, right? Yeah, okay, we're good on that regard. I got the Poison, so hey, love the chip damage. Do I just go into Gargolem here? I think I just Herbal Remedy, in case they go for, like, Zip Zap. Oh, Barbs! I didn't even think about Protagon using Barbs, to be honest. I kind of forgot about it. That's fine, though. My Gargolem defense has Mudslide, and they don't have an air type, so yeah. Let's hard switch into Gargolem here. Whatever hit they throw at us, I'm gonna heal it. So honestly, they should just go for Barbs again. Nope, Metal Blast, that's completely fine. I should heal up all of that. Now we're gonna go for Mudslide to get rid of these layer of Barbs. Because my chance is pretty weak, it's probably a good idea to just completely deny it getting chipped anymore. But at the same time, I could also get more Barbs down because I do need more chip damage, to be fair. Yeah, to be honest, I think I value more Barbs than getting rid of them on my side of the field, I think. So hey, there's some more Barbs for your face. Let's see what the Luminami is gonna do. We know it has Tsunami, most likely has Flash and Flee. Could have a nice side move though. I want to go Venusaur, but I don't want to switch in on a potential Flash and Flee. I think we just always go Wiki Wiki. And the Luminami can't pivot on the Wiki Wiki, so it has to go for like Frost Beam or a Hard Switch. I should tank that alright. Kinda alright. I get my Milkshake to activate, so now we're doing even better. This time, I'm gonna go for Sap Plant. If the Protagon switches in, I get to sap some health from it. It's Metronet. Sap Plant doesn't do anything to this, unfortunately. Right, yeah, it doesn't. That ain't too good. That is not that good. Yeah, Metronet is a rough one for us. I can probably go Gargolem here. Gargolem is looking really good into Metronet. Outside of everything else, that's about it. Dark Surge. We should tank that fairly well. Yep. Obviously, if it starts going for Peace of Minds, that's bad, but at the same time, I can Driving Force it out after it goes for one. I can live a +1 Metronet completely fine. So I think we just go for even more Barbs, just so we can try and melt through that Luminami. It wouldn't hurt to do a little bit of damage to the Metronet though, not gonna lie. But I don't think we have to worry about it right now. They're gonna switch out, right? Surely they're not gonna stay in. There we are, okay. They go for the withdrawal into Borealis. That's fine. I got my 3 layer of Barbs down. I don't actually remember if Borealis can get rid of entry hazards. I'm kinda hoping it can't, but it ain't looking too good. Also, this is why I probably should have mudslided earlier. Now my Chancer most likely dies. So yeah, I'm going to take Barb chip damage and whatever move they're going to throw at me, so it is really not looking that good for us. It is really looking bad. There's the little bit of damage, there's the Ice Cold Tremor, it takes us out, okay. Yeah, I think that first critical hit definitely sucks. If I didn't get critical hit there, I think I would have just barely lived. Oh, now we have to go Venusaur. I don't have any other good options for the Borealis. It can hit all of my Loomian super effective. And I don't even know how well we're gonna hurt it for. Mega Punch sounds really good here, but I think I need to Venom Slash. I want a Mega Punch. I just don't have a switch in anymore for Borealis. I kinda need to like force more damage on it. They switch out into Protagon, that's good. So clicking Venom Slash here I think is actually the best decision I could make. Because now I should outspeed practically everything, and I get to hit everything for as much damage as possible, right? We hit Luminami super effective. I hit the Dakuda super effective. I can hit the Metronet and the Borealis for like neutral. Tremor Slash would be better for both of those, but Luminami resists that, so a little bit risky. For the Luminami, I could probably go Wiki Wiki here, but at the same time, I kinda just want to hit it, to be honest. I kinda just want to hit it. So I will. I don't think it'll knock it out. Yeah, Loomian is so tanky. That is definitely a restrictive armor, if I had to guess right. Frostbite sucks. Not gonna lie, that's extra chip damage that I did not really need to deal with. We just Venom Slash again, though. Loomian is finally down. So that's like one Loomian that can spam Ice-type moves for our Gargolem gone. Doesn't really help, though, because they still got Borealisk, and Dakuda has Tsunami. There's Metronet. We just go into Gargolem here. This is a little bit predictable, to be honest, but there isn't really much I can do here. My Venusaur isn't going to one-shot the Metronet. We need to do a bit more damage to it, so that's where the driving forces maybe come in. It's kind of the only way I can really damage the Metronet. Dark Surge. Okay. Oh, it's getting a little sketchy now, not gonna lie. I want to click Driving Force to force the Metronet out of the battle. I think they're going to go into Borealisk here. But I want to get rid of the Barbs, so my Venusaur doesn't take any more chip damage. Barb chip damage and Frostbite chip damage is gonna be, like, pretty costly now. Like, very costly. I think Driving Force is just better. It's clearly Borealisk, right? Dakuda, okay. That's fine. I get chip damage on it, so now it has to switch back in and take even more chip damage. So Wiki Wiki basically just beats that now. Borealisk is out now, low. That isn't super good, but I did get more damage on it, so hey, that's not too bad. Ooh, I think I sacrificed Wiki Wiki, right? I don't really know how I'm going to beat Metronet. Metronet is proving to be, like, troublesome, because these two can't damage it. I've got Mudslide and Driving Force, and quite literally can't touch it. Okay, so I think we have to sacrifice Wiki Wiki here, Len. Also, I just realized my Wiki Wiki has a very bad ability. This is a doubles Wiki Wiki now. I forgot to change out its ability. I should be using the secret ability one now, but it's fine. I think we just go back into Venusaur, right? I want to click Mega Punch, but still kinda risky, not gonna lie. I want to say Venom Slash knocks it out, but I really don't know. It might honestly be time for Primal Slash. It'll do more damage than Venom Slash, and it has a higher critical hit rate. Okay, we take out the Borealis. Dakuda isn't the problem, it's the Metronet. I don't know how I'm gonna really deal with it. I need to try and weaken it somehow. There's the Metronet. Okay. We go back into Gargolem. I don't want the Dakuda to switch out. There's Barter. That's honestly completely fine. It's Specialty Goggles. Oh. Oh. I just gave it a health amulet. That's actually really, really bad. That is actually really, really bad. Oh no. oh no. Okay, well, I'm gonna lock myself into Mudslide, I guess. I am gonna get a damage increase, and that critical hit might help, okay? It might actually help. But getting rid of the Barb so my Venusaur doesn't take any more chip damage is nice. And basically, I just want to whittle this Metronet down low enough so a Primal Slash is going to be enough to KO it. And honestly, that might be all I need. Okay, we should go down this turn, that's fine. It's coming down to Venusaur, and the Metronet did get quite a bit of health back. Is it going to be rough? I have got enough energy for 2 Primal Slashes low, right? I have, so we just click it and hope for the best. They withdrew, okay. That's fine, that makes a lot of sense. They're trying to get one more tick of health amulet, I think, right? Honestly, if they're doing it for that, it makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'm really wanting a critical hit here, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, actually, I don't think they did get a health amulet increase, did they? Because technically that was the end of the turn. So yeah, this last turn, it comes down to this. They critical hit me earlier, I would love a critical hit right now. I want to say that probably mattered. And I am taking it. Also, Venusaur got quite literally all of the knockouts. Okay, bro popped off.